I'm Krishna. I'm having 10 years of industrial experience working for a global MNCs as a lead cloud engineer and database architect. Also, I'm having a 4 years of experience in a corporate training.
First thing is a quick recap. So let me add that. Okay. A quick recap that what we have been discussed. Okay. And if there are any problems or the issues people are facing while they installing the MySQL. Okay. This too we will discuss. So coming back to the questions, right? So Ganesh, you asked me that at what cases we prefer to have a SQL or a NoSQL databases. Okay. So SQL and NoSQL databases. So to the meaning itself, right? Let me put a SQL called structured query language. Okay. And sorry, my bad. So NoSQL is something that opposite to this. Okay. So it doesn't mean that it's not able to store the NoSQL database. Sorry, it's not able to store the not structured information. It can also store the structured information, and NoSQL is majorly used for non-structured data. Okay. So just try to understand as a very layman. Okay. We don't need to go any technically stuff over here. Okay. So now my question is, my company, right? There are two types of companies. One company is interested. They are working on a IoT devices that is called Internet of Things. Okay. So for every second, they are getting a 10 records getting, or else 100 records are getting generated for every second. Okay. 100 records are getting generated for every second. Okay. And another company is there. This company is a pharma company. Okay. They are preparing a formula. Okay. A medicine formula. Okay. And they are capturing their results. Okay. So their intention is they probably 10 records they want to store per day, not more than that, because they do 10 times a clinical trial and they will be storing the results. Okay. With the different combinations or whatever it is. Okay. Now, two types of companies we discussed. One company is dealing with IoT devices and another company is dealing with pharma stuff. Okay. So now company has to store their data somewhere. They want to take a decision. Okay. Either I need to choose for a SQL databases or do I need to go for a NoSQL databases. Okay. So now what happens is here that motivation, right? The final intention should be, I should able to query the data. Okay. To get my analysis done and decisions can be taken. Okay, this is their intention. Okay, so now what happened is NoSQL data structured databases we will be using for to dump the data as is. Okay, whatever we are getting. Okay, we are getting the data as is and we will be dumping the data into NoSQL databases so that you can able to spend the money on top of it later in point of time to turn up into in a structured. Okay. In this cases, what is your use case can be is IoT information. IoT informations, what you will be doing is you will be reading and keep dumping the data at some place. You don't need to change it or you don't need to process it right now. Okay. You are not interested to spend any money right now, but your intention is to store, should not miss even a single record or some amount of data. Okay. I need to dump it somewhere. Okay. Where you can able to dump that kind of informations. Okay. What you can do is you can go into a NoSQL databases. What is it? Think that IoT devices will get any IoT devices, web services, APIs. What will happen is you will get a data in a JSON format, mostly JSON format. Okay. This data, if you want to put it into a readable format, you have to structure it. To do that structuring, you have to implement your ETL stuff and all. Okay. Now your intention as a company is, no, I don't want to process it for now. I don't have any emergency of having that data to perform my analysis. I want to dump it, but this data is needed for investigation purposes. Okay. In that case, scenarios, what these companies will do is they go for a NoSQLs. Okay. At particular point in time, they will start investing money on it to structure the data and load it into some structured databases. Okay, so always from NoSQL databases to it will go into some structured databases. It will go. Okay, that is a structure.
No, that's what I. So without going to a SQL, they cannot do analysis on that without structuring that. Again, they are going to.
They can do. I won't say they can do, but only their problem over here it is everyone in the company or everyone in the developers and analysts should be aware of that, how they could able to pass this unstructured data. Okay, you have to train every person who can able to write this process and all to get this done. If companies want to do that one, they can do it. Okay, it's not like you cannot pass this data from a NoSQL database. Yes, you can pass it. You can write a SQL queries. You can write everything on the top of this one. But only thing is the complication of writing the SQLs over here. Okay, the time it is going to take. So companies usually don't risk to put that much time. What they do is think that this is in a some unreadable format, and your manager wants to see the data. He knows only thing is if you query a table and he wants to see a data. Okay, if you give this to him, does he can able to invest his time to learn this and can able to see the data? He cannot do it. He has to depend on someone else. Okay, for those reasons, right? So what will happen is they will keep this whenever they have a requirement of seeing some trends from here, trends or analysis, you can say whatever it is, or it could be an issues also. Okay, network issues happen, so that been captured over here. Okay, I want to see when all the network information happened, right? Then what they will do, then they will invest money. Okay, convert this unstructured data into a structured data and save it somewhere. It is already you spent the money and save it somewhere so that it is easy for them to come and see here. Okay, or else think that Power BI is doing. Okay, they want to do Power BI reporting based on this IoT devices, how it is working. Okay, so what Power BI is? Power BI is an external factor again. It's out of the database processing will happen, right? Power BI its own tool it is. Okay, then JSON data, Power BI can do the JSON handling also, right? So what happens is when Power BI try to run this, all the transformations, all the logics written on top of this Power BI, we have to need a servers and it will be costly for us. Okay, they have to unnecessarily invest here. So what I would say is convert this and put it into your data warehouses or databases, wherever you want to do it. And Power BI will simply reading the processed data. So if it was with processing and reading was taking almost $100 means, now with this will take only $10 to $20 because it's already processed data. Okay, so if you have this kind of requirements, okay, then you will go with the NoSQL. No, I want.
But how the JSON will be converted into processed data? What process, either ETL, how it is going to convert it to the
so
structure?
We will learn this as part of this one. So it will be using it. It can be, you can write a SQL, you can put it into stored procedure, let the stored procedure run every day, put a task on top of it, schedule it. So it will run every day at a particular point in time. It will be converting it and loading into the tables. So you will be seeing a structured data available for you all the time. Okay, so JSON is up to them where they want to do it. Either they want to do it in Informatica or Ab initio or Metallion, you can say Python, or they want to directly do it in their data warehouse. Data warehouses, a lot of data warehouses doesn't have this one, but Snowflake have this. You can write a very beautiful SQL queries, SQL kind of queries to parse your JSONs. Okay, so we will be learning this. Okay, but how a company takes a decision is how soon they want to analyze the data, because here NoSQL you are not investing. Storage also is going to be a little easy. Okay, so easy, and so they don't have any business right now. Okay, in that cases businesses will be taking a decision.
I have a query.
Yeah, let Ganesh complete and
Okay. Okay, I'm sorry.
And NoSQL has no fixed schema, right? The SQLs have the fixed schema, and NoSQL doesn't have that fixed schema, right?
Exactly.
During
JSON also doesn't have any fixed schema for this.
So each record will have a different length, because in SQL all the records will have a fixed attribute, correct?
Yes,
fixed
correct.
columns, right? And we have different varieties of NoSQL, right? Document, each will have their business purpose, right?
Correct. Yeah, so what happens is ideally this semi-structured data, how it happens is each row. Okay, when I say each row, now example, I'll just write one. Okay, name Krishna. Okay, and index says that schooling. Okay, schooling is from Kutsari or something like, okay, college. Okay, something like this. Like this it is there, and next row as a name Raj. Okay, next one is index. So this what happens is this usually looks When you open a JSON data, it looks like this. Okay, there will be always a tags. Okay, I'm just giving a data and data. There are different types also in this. Okay, so tag one, and this is a tag one will be get closed over here. Okay, tag one will get closed over here. Okay, so now this data, right? So while you loading into NoSQL databases or anything, what happens is this treats as a total as a single row and store it into a single column. Okay, later from that particular point in time, you have to start parsing it. Okay, so what do you need to say? From a tag level onwards, a tag dot name is called Krishna. Tag dot name dot index of schooling is called as in a Montessori. Okay, like that. What happens usually in a NoSQL databases is each whole row, this whole row will be saved as a one record. Okay, or on top of this is something you will be applying your SQL parsings. Okay, so you could call it could be a key value page, you would call it is a single row. So based on if you go for a MongoDB or if you go for a different other NoSQL databases, only in a backend, it's either it is a document. A document is nothing but it's going to be a single all the tuples or something, right? When you go to MongoDB and also what happens is we will be having a key value page. So key will be there and value this you can define what is a key. You think that name is going to be a unique and key will be this one and values will be you can have a multiple columns. So you say that all my biodata can be there. Okay, so you can able to derive like that. But it's a similar fashion in Snowflake is there, in AWS is there, in different places this JSON data you can able to read. Okay.
Okay, and there is a thing on like column oriented and row oriented database,
yeah,
right?
column oriented. We will come to that point. So that's way ahead. Now, if I say people will get confused, we will discuss about what is.
Okay, that is not specific to SQL, right? Even in NoSQL, there will be column oriented, correct?
There could be column oriented. I don't think so. It's a row oriented, majorly row oriented. So it's again, company has to take a decision. Either they want to go for a row oriented databases or column oriented databases. Row oriented databases.
And column oriented is for the analytical purpose, right? Where
exactly.
It's
column
for storage compressions, advantages there
exactly.
in column oriented.
That's
correct.
Right. So now, as a company, you take a decision now how you want, where you want to save the data.
Okay.
Your
understanding
is correct.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Right. Thank you. Thank you, Krishna.
Yeah. Lady, who was that? Please go ahead.
Hello, Krishna. So I just have one query. As you said that, for example, if the data no structured, if the data is in JSON format, and does it depend upon the company and the business requirement to store the data in a structured data? I mean, in a relational database or NoSQL database, and so what is cost efficient? Like after converting the non-structured data to a structured data, and then uh, performing the analysis, or else yeah, my doubt is that one.
Yeah, I understand your doubt. So now again, as you think that, may I know your name, please?
I'm Mahati.
Mahati, right? Yeah, Mahati. Mahati, just think as you are running a company. Okay, so now you are running a company, but you don't have any intention. Okay, there is no product plan right now. Okay, but what you need to do is you want to collect all your information, but how my business is running, what are the issues, how many employees are there, there is a lot of information happening. Okay, so but you don't have any plan right now to release a product or to build a product. Okay, but you have to capture all your stats. What is your company performing right now? Okay, so you collected all your stats. Okay, and future in time after 6 months you plan saying that, okay, I want to do some kind of product release. So first I need to start a product building. Okay, so what is your next step here? Yes, you have a vision now. So for that vision, what do you need to start with?
Now I want to deal with that data and decide how to process that data.
Correct.
And yeah.
So you need to start looking at your data now to understand how really my product vision will really work in the market or not. Okay, market or not, or it might work. Your analysis might have done already in an oral way. You have done all the analysis, and you know that there is a yes, there is a scope for my product. So I need to start digging my data, whether I can able to pull that information to build the product. Okay. So unless you have a requirement of starting doing an analysis, until that point of time, your data can be rest, cannot be done anything. Okay. In that cases,
Okay.
companies take a decision saying that let it be on a NoSQL data warehouses. Okay. Because it is a compressed, unstructured data. So whatever structure it is fine. They would have received it in a different structures, not only JSON. It could be Parquet, it could be Avro, it could be anything. Okay. They have received the data like that. Let it be like that. I'm not going to hire 5 developers to change it into a structured way and load it into a different data warehouses and run analysis on top of it. On top of analysis, start putting a visualization, Power BI reports or something. I don't want to waste all this money because I don't have any plan at all right now. Okay.
Okay.
So in that cases, companies, what we'll do is let's put it on a NoSQL databases. Okay.
Okay.
And then what they do is, yes, now you got a plan saying that I want to release a product. Now to want to release a product, you have to convert into in a structured way. Okay. Convert into in a structured way and put it into some data warehouse or databases. Why I am saying that put it into databases or data warehouses, Ganesh was asking saying that Krishna, can't we directly query this JSON data? Yes, we can do it. But what happens is every time when you want to generate the data, when you want to generate the data analysis data for the same records, means you have to run this ETL processing from the place where you are doing it. Okay. It's a waste, right? I'm saying that process it once, store it at some place. Your storing cost will be always less than your processing. Okay. Storing needs a desk, processing needs a servers to be executed, right? Servers is costlier than your storage. Storage is always cheaper than your processing, right? So what I say is build an ETL on top of it, process it. Okay. Process it and store it in some data warehouse or databases wherever you want to do it. And one time the processing is completed, that data is already stored for you, right? So that no one else needs to put money on processing. They can directly, 100 people can do it. Now think that JSON data is there. Okay. And we have to do a processing in a structured format. I need to bring it up. Okay. I'm running. So Mahati is running this query. Now I also have a requirement. If this data is being not stored in any databases or data warehouses, I also have to perform the same thing. Same pipeline, what she has built, the another pipeline I have to build, which will be a costly. Okay. What Mahati would have been done is once she would have been processed, she would have been loaded into some data warehouse table. So I would have used that. So I would have skipped that processing money over there. Right. That's how the companies thinks, where you can able to save the money. So a lot of people, we don't encourage everyone does the same work. Right? If one person does this work, have it, others should reduce that same work to be done and do from that particular level to upper levels. Don't go again to the downstreams and doing the same work. Okay.
Okay.
That make sense, Mahati?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
Thank you.
No
Thank you,
worries.
Krishna.
One final thing, Krishna, actually. So can we say that OLTP database can be either SQL or NoSQL, and similarly, can OLAP database can be either SQL or NoSQL database?
Anything can be, yes, you can do it. Okay. Only the problem is the way you are going to put the constraints on your databases is something is a very complex. Okay. I would say, yes, you can do it. What is a OLTP database? It's a constraint database. Okay. How you are going to maintain the constraints in your databases, that's up to you. What will happen is just think again, very layman, right? So think that OLAP database, let's take it as a Snowflake only. Snowflake doesn't have any constraints. Okay. But when you are loading some table in a data, so my expectation is in a customer's table, only one time Ganesh should be there. Okay. If you load another Ganesh, it should reject saying that this customer is already there. You are not supposed to load any another Ganesh into this one. Okay. How you are going to maintain that constraint? How you are restricting that kind of record? If you could able to maintain that, you can use NoSQL or whatever SQL it is, right? The only difference between the OLTP and OLAPs are constraints, how you are constraining the data. Okay. So if you want to maintain that, that's fine. Okay. Now, no, Krishna, I can maintain an OLAP also. It's totally wish they can do it. Okay. If not, yes, you want to maintain. What is the problem if you want to? Yes, you want to maintain that. If you want to do that kind of restraint check, you have to write an extra code. You have to have an extra jobs. You have to have an extra DQs, data qualities. Okay. These are going to be costly for you. You need developers for this. You need databases to be designed for this. You need extra jobs and the code should be written to run it on every day before you loading the data. This is going to cost you $100 extra. What OLTP guy says that this something is something I have already done. All you need to do is set up. Okay, pay me $10 extra only. Okay, now as a company, you can take a decision.
Okay. But Snowflake is OLAP, right?
Yes, Snowflake is a OLAP.
Okay.
Okay, Snowflake
So
is an OLAP.
online transactions won't directly update the Snowflake.
Online transactions directly won't. I don't say update, so won't happen. You can have your APIs. Okay, so you need to take a decision here. If you want to go for OLTP basis, same example, right? If you want to take a decision of having it as another Ganesh inside that one, no, or not having another Ganesh in the table, you need to take a decision now. Okay, you can put that constraint on OLAP also. What you'll do is before loading the data into that one, you will be loading the data into some temporary table and making sure that same record is not existing. If it is existing, no, don't take any action. Okay, you have to build an extra layer on top of this. No, it's fine. I can have two Ganeshas in my table. Then you go with an OLAP. So all data will be available for you. Then you write your own logic on top of it. Which one you have to pick it.
The constraint, you mean the primary key and that one,
Yes,
right?
exactly. Primary key, unique key, check
right?
constraints or cascades or not nulls or whatever you can call, right? Defaults or virtual columns. It's up to you how you are going to model that particular table. Okay. Does that make sense?
So that's not only to OLTP, that's also we can apply in OLAP also. Okay.
OLAP, yeah, we will talk about that. OLAP means there is no constraints. Okay, there is a reason why OLAP needed. Okay, so it's again companies will decide saying that I don't want to lose. It's okay. There is a 2 Ganesh comes, 3 Ganesh come, 10 Ganesh come. I don't worry about it. Okay, my own intention is whatever is getting generated in my company, I want to capture that all the data. I should not miss even a single point. Then people will go for OLAP. OLAP will not never stop you that. Okay, never stop you to have some data digested into this, but OLTP does. Okay, now you take a decision. Company, what is you need it? Okay, even if I go for a requirement asking, right, I'll ask you saying that, okay, do you have any constraints? Is it something, do you think that there is a guy who logged into website at 2 times? Can I ignore the first one and take only the second one? Are you thinking to have that kind of requirement? Then I'll go for OLTP. He says that no,
that makes sense.
I want to do a fraud investigation. Why he is doing in a 2 websites at the same time. So people wants to do that, right? So companies want to do from every dimension. They want to understand the people. Then in that cases, they say that no, Krishna, he joined from 100 websites at same point and same second. I need to capture that. That guy something is doing with us. Okay. In that cases, I say that OLAP is something is the best for you. So let's architect on this OLAP.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. That makes sense. Yeah. Great. Thank you.
Okay. So I'll take
in last class, acid property I didn't get, sir.
Acidic properties, you didn't get it. So you gone through the video again?
Yeah.
Still you're not getting.
Yeah.
Okay. So let me.
Also, what is batch processing analytics?
That we will discuss. Don't worry about batch or streaming process right now. While we implementing, I'll tell you that. Okay. Don't worry. Okay. So how many of you folks are not understand this topic? Let's be little more interesting this class now. Okay. How many of you folks are not understand this? How many of you folks are understand it? Let me go with the positive note. I need two-way communication. Definitely, I need a two-way communications. Mahati,
I did understand. Yes, Krishna, I did understand. So this is regarding the previous point. So for example, you took the example of fraud detection. So in that case, the best way to approach that is using OLAP, because it will consider all the options without any constraints.
Yeah, all the actions you performed on a website.
Okay, got it.
So anyway, you unmuted yourself. You understand the atomicity, right? So how many folks? Mahati, just be on hold. Okay. 50 minutes late for us. Yes. No, acidic. Okay. Yeah. Acid properties, right? So acidic properties, acid properties. Yeah. So who else are understand? I will be calling names. Soumya, you there? Soumya, yeah, Soumya is there. Soumya is there. Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
I'm here. Yeah. So I did not understand so many things you said. Very little bit of that's like,
No,
so,
I'm specific about this.
Oh, I did not understand it clearly. I have
Okay, good.
from last time. Yeah.
Okay, good. So I don't know in detail, Salman. Ravi, I understand. Yeah, Ravi, good. Who else understand this? Sumant message, right? Salman message. Okay, Salman. It's okay. Sumant, you there?
Yeah.
Yeah, Sumant, did you understand this acidic properties?
Yeah, already understood.
Perfect. Okay. Sampath?
Can I ask something like, did day 4 video posted on the channel? WhatsApp channel?
What is that? Sorry?
Like day 4, this video does not posted on the channel, I guess, like WhatsApp.
Day 4 was not happening. It happened in day 3. Day 4 is today only.
Okay.
Okay. So sorry, day 4 is posted, I believe. No? Okay, fine. Yeah, I'll find
Yeah,
it.
last class it was posted. Last class posted.
Yeah, last class it was posted, I guess.
You need not share on WhatsApp. Directly uploaded on YouTube.
Oh, is it? So let me check. Okay. I just know it's some standards for developing. Okay. So yeah, let me put. So now Mahati. Okay. So pardon me for this names. Okay. Ravi, and then we have who is that? Ganesh.
So,
Yeah, Ganesh also we have. Okay. So Mahati, can you explain me in your version? Okay. I don't want the same example or something. What you understand of this atomicity? I'm not pointing you. Go ahead. We will correct it if it is wrong. Okay. Don't worry. So what is atomicity in sense?
Actually, Krishna, last class I didn't attend, but I can't explain it as it is, but I do have understanding of acid properties a bit. So
Just give a shot. I'll correct you. Don't worry. Anybody else? If
So-
not, Mahati. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry. Yeah.
so maybe consistency. I'm sorry, I can't tell it out right now. I'm not
Okay,
able to
that's
get.
fine. No
I'm
worries.
not able to express.
Sure. No worries. Okay, don't worry. But ask, come up your questions. Okay, that's nice to hear. Ravi, can you able to explain what is sorry, who is this?
Sorry, this is Samya. I think based on last class, I think it's based on a transaction. If one transaction fails, then the whole transaction will fail. And
Okay.
if it's a successful transaction, then everything would go through. That's I believe it's atomicity.
Okay.
I'm not sure.
Okay. Anybody wants to add more on top of it? Ganesh.
If suppose yeah, if any transaction, if suppose $20 have been deducted, so both of them it should be in sync actually. That is what, right? So it should have a $10 should be credited to the other account and $10 should be debited from the account. So both should be in sync.
Exactly. Okay.
That is the thing. Yeah.
Yeah. So
make sure that both are in sync. Yeah.
Exactly. So what is atomicity means? Think that any transaction will happen now, as just mentioned, right? So any transaction happened. What happens? Who was the person asked that question?
yeah.
Can you just Axir,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. Okay. So what happens, Axir? So you are transferring money to me. Okay. I asked you for saying that, see, buddy, I'm totally done today. I need some money. Okay. So I ask you some $250. Can you send me? Okay. So what you have done is you made a transaction. That means you went into your app, you click saying that send $250 to Krishna. Okay. What happened is $250 got debited from your account. Okay. But it didn't not credited in my account. It's hanging in the air somewhere. We don't know what happened to this one. Okay. So a day is gone. So do you think this is a right transaction to be happened? Is it a successful transaction or is it a failure transactions? Failure transactions. What ideally would have been done? What is a pass scenario? What is success scenario for this? It should have
The
credited
amount
in
must be debited and also credited at the same
credited in
time.
my account. So successful nature is it would have been debited from you, and it should have been credited in my account also. That's a successful transaction. Okay. If not, in case of failure scenario, either of these cases, any failure scenario happened, then ideally what your intention is, my money should come back to me, right? If it is not crediting due to some problem in my account, that money should come back to me only, right? To observe it, the money should come back. Okay. That's at least a success scenario, right? So you attempted, something was happened, so there was some failure. So what bank has decided is nothing. Okay, there is no deduction happen and there is no something happen. Okay, it should come back to your account. Okay, so what is atomicity of a databases, right? The properties of a databases says is, in case of if there is any failure happen, okay, the whole transaction should be reverted. Okay, either if transaction completes, that means both should be completed. Okay, if any one of it is been failure, then what you need to do is you have to revert back the whole transactions. Okay, when you are putting some data into databases, okay, the atomicity says that if it is, you try to insert a data somewhere, okay, into tables or wherever it is. Okay, once the insert is completed, you should able to see that record is available in the table. It's not like your insert is completed and it is not, you're not seeing a record in your table. Okay, in that scenarios, okay, in that scenarios, your atomicity property will be helping you. Okay, it will says that either happens both at it together. Okay, if it is any one of the transaction got failed or something got failed in between, okay, so for the whole transactions will get cancelled. Okay, is that make sense?
Okay.
Okay, next one is consistency. What is consistency, anybody?
Which maintains consistent throughout the period, throughout the transaction.
It maintains. So can you give me a very simple example? Anything?
Like sending money to someone, it should be debited and credited at the same time. If it's credited to someone, it doesn't debit from the account. So that will be a does not inappropriate consistency kind of thing.
Yeah, almost you cracked it. Okay, almost you cracked it. So anybody wants to try it in a different way?
So I can explain it with one example. Like for example, so if we take any shopping scenario, and if you are if the users are purchasing any items, and once the items are decreased in their stock, it is the responsibility of the company to restock it, to maintain consistency.
Okay. Okay.
To make sure there is no shortage.
There is not
of
shortage.
Any items.
Okay. Okay. There is not shortage means there should not be any discontinuity of the business over there.
Correct. Yeah.
Okay, that's good. Okay. Anybody wants to try?
I just want to try. X withdraws money from the ATM machine. He gets $50 back. So Y comes in and withdraws money. Instead of $50, he gets only $30. So there is inconsistency. So that should be all consistent. The rules will be consistent. The rules
will be consistent. Okay, that's right. That's right. Okay.
The rules should make it. The rules should be applied to everything.
Exactly. It should say that consistently it is getting done. That particular transaction is completed at the same time. Same throughout. The amount should be consistent. Same throughout. So Salman has mentioned the same example, right? So let me put it in simple way, right? So now Akshar, so what happened is
it's a example, but how can we relate to the real-time scenario?
Real time. So these are not requirements. These are the properties of a database. Any databases you take, right? So it's the properties of anything which you load. So example, I would say, so company is capturing, pharma company is capturing whatever the products was being sold on online. Okay. So now you placed some medicine online. Okay. And you have to you are paying money also in online. Okay. So what happens? Backend pharma companies will maintain databases to understand Akshar has been placed an order and this is the medicine, this is the money he paid, and they will store this data. Okay. But what happened is while you placed an order, Okay, so then what happened is the online transaction, you started paying the money. Okay, you paid the money. The web page is showing you saying that you paid the money, that money but not deducted on it. How the pharma company needs to store the data. Okay, that's in a real-time problem. Okay, in that problem, what Atomicity says is, okay, see buddy, it's just a message has been given to you, but really bank has the transaction has not happened. Okay, so database will understand saying that this is something a faulty, transaction been happened. So I'm not going to save it in my database. Okay, that's how that property defines on a databases. Okay, that's a real-time issue. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay, so coming to the consistency, right? So Aksar, what happens is same example, best example I always give this one. Okay, so what happened is you had $1,000. Okay, so you went same. I think people who would have been already listened this one. You went into our ATM and you given check to someone else. Okay, $500, and ATM also you went to withdraw a $500. Okay, what happened is your check is processing. Your check is processing and you're doing a withdrawal of $500 at the same time. Okay, at the same time it has to be done. Okay, in that cases, what will happen is this particular, if now actually ATM you have done a $500, check is been withdrawn in the $500, what is your amount should be? Your amount should be $0 now. Okay, so it's not like once you been deducted money from an ATM $500, if you check balance check in your ATM, it should not show you 500. Okay, either check you have done a $500. If bank people check what is other balance amount in your account, it should not show you 500. Okay, it should show as a consistent value across everywhere. Okay, that consistency it maintains. It makes sure that each and every record is happening in isolation. Okay, so that is the next one, right? So every record happens in an isolation, and what it do is it maintains the consistent. You check it in app, you check it in the ATM, you check and go to the bank and check whether the money is there or not. Everywhere it should make sure there is only $0. It's something not like an ATM you have done and $500 is been done and another 500 is there in the ATM. Okay, how it happens? What is the business term for this one, right? So when you commit some records at a multiple tables, okay, think that you are loading a particular record into a different tables in a database. Okay, so every data, it's not like you have write a query now. Your query says that insert data into 10 tables. Okay, insert data into 10 tables. In a single query, it's a single query, it is happening. Then what happens is it not like it will go to one table, load the data, and another table don't load the data. Okay, or it's like the data got loaded and you are checking from some place it is showing 10 records and some place it is showing it 0 records. It should not show like that. It should maintain the consistency. And if it is committing, so committing means if it is showing records, it should show 10 records to me everywhere. If it is not showing the records everywhere, it showed me a 0 records. That consistency will be maintained. The databases have properties called this consistency. Okay, does that make sense? Consistency means? That's it.
So you mean to say that when we write a query and that record must be inserted into 10 tables, so the consistency means the record once the query is executed, the record must be inserted into all the 10 tables. Otherwise, it seems that it is inconsistent that in few tables if the record is not inserted.
Exactly. Okay.
Okay.
So it should make sure that the whole transaction is being completed and consistently it's been loaded everywhere and it's everywhere it is showing to us. Okay. Aksar, are you comfortable with this answer?
Yeah.
Okay. So next one, isolation, we already done it. Okay. Isolation means any transactions. Now here also you're making a 2 transactions, right? It's not like your check should wait for ATM transaction should be completed, or your ATM transaction should not wait for your check to be completed. Okay, both should run parallelly in an isolated transaction base. Okay, but end of the day, once all the transaction is completed, I mean, as soon as that all the transaction is completed, it makes sure that it is showing a consistent value. So isolation says that each and every transaction into databases, okay, will not depend on any other transactions. Okay, you loaded this from a web services, you load this from an ETL, you load another record from a different place. Okay, so all this, when this happens, everything have its their own priority and it will be running in a parallelly. Okay, in a table, if you're loading saying that Aksar withdrawn $500 using check. Okay, and ATM he used to withdraw $500. Okay, these two records should be inserted inside that one. It's neither will be dependent on anything. Okay, it's not like check record is getting inserted into table, you wait for a while. Okay, it should happen, isolation transactions should be happening in the tables. Okay, so there is no dependency between that. Databases will maintain that property saying that you don't need to wait for anything to be done. So I will be giving you one row ID for you, you start writing the data inside that. Okay, so next one, durability. Durability is nothing but once the data being loaded into the table, once your payment is completed, okay, your successfully payment, your online your online placement is also being successfully completed, then it should go and stay into the databases. Okay, go and stay into the databases. It should not get deleted by itself. It should stay for as long as it is possible. Okay, unless someone takes a manual decision on top of it. Okay, it's not like once the commit is been done. Commit means the data got loaded into databases. Okay, automatically it will available for 5 minutes, then it cannot be removed. Okay, or something, it should not automatically, should not take any decisions. It should be available all the time inside the tables for us. Okay, that's called a durability. Okay, so these are all the properties. Okay, so in what scenarios, right? So now you're working for a banking client. So banking client accepts this all to be available in your databases. Okay, you don't implement this ones. We say that databases are being designed with these properties already. Okay, it takes this kind of decisions. Okay, so that's what we expect from the databases. It's not properties, it's not something you will be implementing it. It's just the properties of the databases. Does it make sense now, Aksar? Yes, no.
And this applicable to SQL only, right? SQL database, correct? No SQL is different transaction, right? It's
yeah, exactly. This is for SQL. So NoSQL is something that this first example itself, right? Either it is debited or credited, I don't worry. So whether this transaction has been initiated, I'll capture that. It is failed, I'll capture that. Later, I'll take decision what needs to be done to it. Okay, in that scenarios, you can have it. But banking should not work that way, right? Banking should not work. Banking, immediately the action should be taken because this is a wrong one. Okay, OLTP, why we need to take it? So I will be storing this data in OLTP also. I will say, saying that, okay, yes, there are some failures happening from last 1 month like this. There are debits are happening, but credits are not happening. Let's start investigating the stuff. Okay, in that cases, you can go with OLTP. Does that make sense, Aksar, Ganesh?
Yeah, yes, Krishna. Yeah.
Okay, so shall we jump on to today's topic? So I'll quickly say today's topic. Let me quickly go through these charts. Can we able to know does this SQL DB or NoSQL DB without asking higher management? Yeah, please. Yeah, so we will discuss that. I'll try to skip as much as possible. Yeah, I know freshers are there. They will be getting little annoyed with this one. Maintaining data integrity is good. 0. What is it? Oh yeah, 0 is the answer. Okay, yes, is good. Yeah, cool. So let me go into today's topics. Okay. So before I go, next 1 minute, anybody all completed with their installation? Anybody is still facing issues? Soumya, especially you, how you are going with Mac?
Yeah. So I tried Mac. My Mac version is very old, so it failed. I think I'll have to upgrade to 13 or above. So my Mac machine doesn't work. Okay. So I've been trying to do it on another one. The installation has not yet started because I'm trying to still upgrade the version.
Okay, yeah. So meanwhile,
is there an alternative? Sorry to interrupt.
Yeah, I'll give you a website.
So is it like a? Okay.
I'll give you a website. Practice that one, but I would say always have it on your system. It will be little easy for you. Okay. Website behaves sometimes very, very weirdly. I'll give you a best website as best as possible to you. Okay. practice in that meanwhile.
Okay. Is there like a virtual machine or something I can take for Microsoft? Is this something like that? I don't know.
Yeah,
If that's
are you ready to
something
pay for it?
Depends on how much.
We will charge you fortune. Okay, and that's unnecessary. For
Oh.
on-premise stuff, you don't need to go with that. Okay? So you can onboard a virtual machine and you can install on that one. I can help you out with AWS or GCP also. Okay, but only unnecessarily you have to spend a lot of money. So don't go with that.
Okay.
I'll give you the website.
Okay.
Don't worry. I'll give you a website. Okay. So others who anybody, how many people of you installed it? How many people installed? No one installed. I think one I have already installed in someone's account. One, okay, only one.
Yeah, done, Krishna.
Yeah, done, Krishna. Okay. Can you raise your hands? Don't simply raise your hands if you are not installed. Okay. Okay. How many are yet to install or facing an issue? How many of you folks are yet to install and facing issue? No one is facing issues. All good. Okay. I take that as no issues then. Okay. Somewhere I'm happy with that. Okay. And I make sure that if you are not installed, I'm here to help you guys to I'll make sure that if you're facing some issue, we'll resolve it. Okay, please bring it up. Don't sit idle. Okay, so you are going to learn it. Okay, and also right, you have to practice it. You have to practice. You need that window to be completed. Okay, so yeah, I think this is good then. Okay, unless if you have questions or if you are hesitating to answer here, so put it on a WhatsApp or wherever it is. Okay. My laptop is having issues. Yeah, Salman, make sure resolve that issue and put new OS or something, whatever I'm using desktop. Yeah, so desktop also anywhere it is fine. You just install it. Either it is a desktop or whatever it is, right? Just go to that link, install it. It happens on your own local drive only, so don't worry. Okay. So first, let's go into SQL objects, right? So where? Sorry,
Krishna, one thing I want to check regarding the environment variable. You last time you checked, right, whether it is both are equal or both are matching, right? So in that, for me, it's MySQL shell 8.0 -bin. That is the one, right? Or SQL, because last time when in the recording it was showing two different, but you said it is matching. I'm a little bit confused on that environment variables.
I don't think so. It was matching. Who was installed last time? Lady, I guess, right? Who's that lady?
No, you check the server as MySQL server. There are three options, right? MySQL server and MySQL shell.
Don't go for shell. That's what I'm saying, right? Don't first go to installation path. Okay, that's all. You don't need to go shell or is it a command or whatever it is. Okay. So what you do is where is your, so you see here. So let me go to mine, right? Okay. You see here, this is place where all your libraries are available for your MySQL. Okay. Just
yeah,
take
it is
that
shell only. It is there. Yeah.
Yeah, it's okay. Shell is, it's a communication, right? Backend communication. Okay. Go to this and you can just pick it this one. Okay. That's enough. This will be actually setting up automatically for a few folks. If it is not set up, you can give it here.
No, I thought it should set MySQL server also here. I thought, okay, fine. Shell is there.
You don't need MySQL server. Shell will able to communicate from a backend. This environmental variables will be running on your command prompt to communicate with this particular tool, right? In backend, shell will do that for you. Okay, Pavani, that's good. Thanks, Pavani. Yeah. So now where it is, right? So now we are talking databases. We understand. Okay, so we are saying databases are there to store data. Everyone says same dialogue. So second thing is databases are data warehouses, right? So what happens is we want to store your data. So where exactly the data will go and store? Okay, where exactly the data will go and store in the databases? Okay, the data will get stored in a tables. Okay, so when someone says that does Krishna tables, so what is table here, right? So let me go here. Okay, so yeah, it's one is already open for me, right? You see here, this is a table, this is a schema. Okay, this is a window of our MySQL server. In this one, I have created a one particular schema just to understand. Okay, the schema name called as a cloud data engineering. In this cloud data engineering, we will be having tables created. So you see here, cloud data engineering is the schema I have created. So what is a schema? Okay, what is a schema? Anybody knows what is schema? What is the purpose of the schema?
It's about the way the data must be organized.
Data organizing, perfect. Any example?
Logical structure of the data.
Logical structure of it.
it's maybe relational database is a type of schema.
Relational database is a type of a schema.
I mean, tables, storing the data in the form of tables is a schema.
Yeah, tables should be created under schema all the time. Okay, that's correct.
Maybe data modeling.
Maybe data modeling.
Let's call it one. Someone else also saying something.
So I think it's how data is organized.
Yeah, go ahead. Who is that?
Schema is like there is a HR department, and there is a the people's of department, or will have multiple departments, but they wanted to access the same data.
Okay.
Or else for HR, I should have a separate data, same person data, but it should be bifurcated to different departments. In that case, schema will come into picture, where the tables will be present in different schema, and you can provide the access according to that.
Anybody can talk about data marts? Anybody knows that data marts?
Yeah, I'm aware of it. It comes in data.
Okay. What is data mart means?
Subset of data or data warehouse. It's a subset of data.
Subset of a data warehouse. It's a one database inside a data warehouse. Okay.
Yeah.
So what is this? Is nothing but a departmental data. What is departmental data, right? So now, as he has given example, in an IT companies, what are all the departments will be having? When you enter into a company, so you have a security department. When you swipe in the card department will be there. When you go into the companies, inside you have a HR department. You have, once you enter into an HR department, you have your development teams, development department or teams, whatever you can call it. Okay. Then you will be
have vertical and horizontal. Again, it will be keep bifurcating. In vertical,
exactly.
Will have different.
Exactly. So every vertical, so there will be, so verticals are horizontals, right? It will be always changing the departmentals. Okay. High levels, right? Sales, security, there are multiple departments. Who is maintenance departments is there, cleaning department is there. There will be a lot of departments will be there. Okay. So now you want to have this data to be organized. Okay. Someone has already said that, right? So you want to organize this data. Okay. So now someone says that Soumya is from, okay, sales department. Okay. I want Soumya should see only the data which belongs to a sales department. Okay, sales department. I don't want to give any kind of financials or revenues or something. I don't want to give access to a Soumya. Okay, so for what I need to do, first I need to organize the data at somewhere. Organize the data at one place where all the sales information is there. Okay, and then what I'll give to that particular place. This place I have all the sales information. To this place I'll give access to Soumya. Soumya, what it will do, she will have only access to this particular sales, and she will be reading the data, writing the data, or whatever she want to do, analyzing the data, she will be doing. But she will not have any access to either to a revenue or whatever is other things are there. Okay. First thing is we have a requirement, and what we need to do is we have to organize the data. Okay. So we have to do a data organizing. Okay. In this data organizing, where we need to give some place to it. That place is called as a schema. Okay. Schema is constraints of a logical structure. Why we call it logical structure is, so why we call it as a logical structure means it's a structured, so it will have an objects, it will have an abuse, it will have functions, it will have a stored procedures, and everything will be in a structured way. Okay. That means tables all will be under tables, views all will be under views. Okay. So you can go here. See here, this is a schema. Cloud data engineering is a schema. As part of this cloud data engineering in SQL, so what we're going to learn, we are going to learn tables. So whatever the tables we are going to create, that you will be seeing under the tables. Okay. Tomorrow we'll create a views that you will be seeing under the views. Whatever is next is the stored process. Nicely, I have structured it. Okay. This is a schema. Schema contains a different objects, different types of objects. Okay. So here objects, right? So someone says, when you go into a real-time company, right? So objects can have a different meanings. Okay. Object, can you tell me what are all the objects you have it under your schema? Okay. I will say I have this many tables, I have this many views, I have this many stored processes, I have this many functions, I have this many sequence, I have this many, indexes, constraints, or whatever you can say, Okay, so objects means what are all are available under your schema. Okay, so some people will say that, can you tell me what is the number of objects are available in your, okay, in your schema or in your database, whatever something they call. This means they might, their intention is they want to know only the tables. Okay, how many tables are there for you? Okay, some people use tables as objects also, but a general meaning for the objects is what are all the different types. You need to consider each and everything. Okay, these are all the tables. Okay, someone has to explicitly ask, he should mention saying that how many tables you have, how many views you have, how many stored processes you have, how many functions you have. Okay, so schema is a place where you want to organize the data as part of the departmentals. Okay, a departmental data. Now example, I would say pharma company is there. Okay, inside a pharma company, what I will be doing is I will be maintaining a 2 schemas or a 5 schemas. One schema says about a medicine formula, a medicine sales, a medicine revenue. 3 schemas I have created. Now executive want to see only revenue. He is interested only revenue. I'll give access only to the revenue to him. Okay, so that's how you can able to organize your data. So for that we will creating a schemas. Okay, so we can call it as a data modeling also. Why we can call it as a data modeling? You are modeling the data. So you are taking a decision which data to be available under which schema. Okay, it's a one step of modeling also. Modeling have a lot of steps, but this decision of taking under which schema that particular data to be available is also comes under modeling. Okay, constraints, modeling, data loads, how it loads, before it loading. Okay, this is all comes under modeling. Okay, so data modeling departmental wise we can has done. So now I could call each schema like that. If you are maintaining a departmental wise schemas means this is called as a data mart also I can call. What is data mart means? A particular schema if you are organizing the data. So now I have organized this data. This belongs to cloud data engineering. I'll create one more database which is a Power BI engineering. I'll create one more in this one Azure Data Engineering, right? So if I create my all information under Cloud Data Engineering means this is one department to me. Okay, this department, single department, what I can call is this is a data mart. Okay, including data, this is a data mart. So people now Soumya I have given a sales, right? Similar way I will be giving an access to this Cloud Data Engineering that becomes a data mart. Data marts is nothing but a departmental databases. Okay, so departmental database, it's a good to organize in that way. Okay, it's a good to organize, but I would say it's not mandatory to maintain that. There are companies, what they do is one schema they create, under that they will create all the departmental tables. How they will be doing it? Okay, they will be doing saying that, okay, table name is city, right? Revenue underscore city. That means this particular table is belongs to revenue team. Okay, next what they will do is sales underscore city. Okay, now this table they define saying that this table is belongs to, okay, this table is belongs to a sales team. Okay, they could maintain like this. This is also one type of modeling. At least they know that what they are maintaining it. Okay, but always the good practice is have a different schemas. Okay, in each schemas, make sure whatever the data is belongs to that particular area, that particular region or particular department, have the data to be loaded into that particular schemas. Okay, so does that make sense? Anybody have question on that?
So data mart should be a schema.
If one schema, you can call it as a data mart. Okay, one schema, any one schema can call it as a data mart. So data mart meaning data mart is, so now 2 schemas also I can call it as a data mart. So when, how can you say if particular department data is been spreaded across 2 schemas or a single schema or 3 schemas, that 3 schemas they can call it as a data mart. Okay, so data mart is something that which you are grouping the data for belongs to only particular department.
Okay, I have one doubt. So you said multiple schemas might come under one data mart based on the business. So within a schema, there might be multiple databases, right? Or
No.
else tables.
Tables, different tables will be there. So always the hierarchy is database,
Okay.
schema, and then objects. Objects can be tables or etc. Right? Views, whatever you're saying. This is how the hierarchy.
So a data mart can be considered as a database, but within a department.
Within a department. So you cannot say database. Schemas are group of schemas. If you combine that, that can be, you can call it as a data mart. Okay. Under a database, you will have a different schemas. Okay.
Okay.
You can have a lot of schemas. This is a parent. Parent can have a lot of childs, and this child also can have a lot of other childs.
So here you said database is the parent. So next comes the data. If, for example, if there are 10 schemas and 3 schemas come under one data mart or one department, and the others come under the second data mart, and this data marts come under can be under one database itself.
Yeah, you can create one more database. Yes, if you want to do that one, saying that I'll create another database, and inside the databases, if I want to create something, you can create that way also. It's how you are going to organize the data.
No, what I mean to say is, for example, you said in a database there might be multiple schemas. So based on the requirement, for example, there are 6 schemas. 3 schemas belong to one data mart, and the other 3 schemas belong to other data mart. So these does these data marts come inside database, or else how it is?
Yeah,
How is the relationship between data mart and database?
Yeah, so what happens is databases will have many data marts. Okay, so data marts is something, but what you can do is, so now I will say, okay, let me put it in an Excel sheet. Okay, better way, better view I'll give you. Okay, so let me open that. Okay, fine. Yeah. Okay, so now one sec. So this is a database. Okay, in these databases, what happens? We have a different schemas. One call. This is a sales. This is a revenue, and this is a security. Okay, like this, we have a many schemas are available. Okay, think that there are many more. Okay, so then what happens is, now we are maintaining this database as a one database, and we have a multiple schemas. Inside this multiple schemas, I would be saying that, so data mart is something that which is you don't need to deviate somewhere, or if you want to deviate also you can do it. I'll tell you that. Okay, so now sales team is a one department. Okay, so now someone said that this is a data mart, only sales team should able to read this data, or sales team information will get stored here. Okay, I'm calling it as a data mart. Okay, these two belongs to a different things. Okay, sales, let me say sales underscore, let's put some product name called as a tool. Okay, so this two belongs to sales team. These two data marts belongs to a sales team. Okay, two schemas, I'm saying it as a single data mart. This single data mart is needed for a sales team. Okay, so now this two belongs to something else, you said, right? So this is what your question, isn't it? This two belongs to something else.
Yes.
Okay, so now let's put it as a DM2 and let's put it as a DM1. Okay, so now how real companies will maintain is, in a single database only they will maintain like this 4 schemas. Okay, while they're giving an access to the people, right? They'll give access to this particular data mart team, so they'll give access only to this two, and this data team they will be giving like this access to this one. Okay, can be under single database, no problem. Okay, you can maintain this model also. No, so what happens is, I want to have in a different database for these two guys. Okay, then people, how they will model this particular thing is, they will create a new database that's called as a sales database, and they move these two into under this. Okay, so this database is explicitly for a data. This is now a data mart. When you have converted this, right? When you have turned up this one, so now this becomes a explicit data mart. Okay, so now what happened is, when everything was a clubbed under one database, multiple schemas was there. Okay, when you partitioned the data, these databases are converted as a data marts. Okay, this means you just try to understand in a very simple way. Okay, we don't need to go technical stuff here. Okay, when you are partitioned this, okay, when you are partitioned this, what happened is, this database is converted into a data mart. What is the meaning of a data mart? It's a departmental data. Now can I call it as it's a sales department data, and it is called it as a revenue department data?
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
so just a meaning for it. So now when you call it as a database and when you call it as a data mart is, when a database contains only belongs to a particular department, that's called as a data mart. Okay, a database which contains a variety of versatile of data to be available in a different schemas, then we call it as a database. Okay, there is no difference in it. Tables we create, everything, there is no data mart. So create database we do, we never create data mart. Okay, data mart is an English word or a technical word to everyone, I'm saying, right? Technical word which will be used in a company to understand either they are maintaining a different departments of data in a one database, or they are trying to maintain a only particular department data into the database. Okay, what they do is when you go into a real company and someone you're talking to your managers, they will be calling it as this is a data mart. In that, when they call it as a data mart, we should think that they are maintaining a single department data inside the database. Okay, no, they are calling it as in a database. Then we need to think that in the database they are maintaining a different departmental data. Okay, that's just an English word to understand. There is nothing in a databases or somewhere they would be creating as a data mart. Okay, there is no create data mart command at all. Create database command. Okay, you should just to understand. People wants to understand, right? Something you need to make a meaning to it. So where this database is created only for sales department. No, I will say sales database. Instead of sales database, I'll call it, it's a data mart created for sales. That's a word they use it. Okay. There is nothing called a different technology or a different something which will be created as a data mart. There is no command called create data mart. Okay. There is always a create database. Okay. Does this differentiation make sense?
Yes.
Others?
So it is not a technical term. Yes, it is a understanding of the group of the
data. Okay. Logically, how you are going to understand the data. Okay. There is nothing called, you can search it in Google also. There is nothing called create data mart. There is no create data marts. Data marts are databases only. How you are going to organize the data is something called, we will be calling it as a data mart. Does it make sense? Anybody have question on this? Sumant, Akzar?
Oh, it's fine. No, it's fine.
Okay. Okay, to everyone it's fine, right? Okay. So going back, so where your data is going to be explicitly be stored. Okay. Your data will get stored in a tables. Okay. The data gets stored in a tables. So tables will have a columns. So you see this city ID, city, country ID, last update. Okay. These are all columns. Okay. So these are all columns, right? So this is column data. So this is saying that, see, 568, this is a row. Okay. City ID, city, country ID, last update is going to be a columns. And this totally is called as a row. 568 city ID, Vijayawada, 44 is the country ID. Okay. And last updated date, when this is got updated into the table. This is called row. Okay. A table contains a columns and rows. Okay. So going back here, a table contains a columns and rows. Table is equals to rows plus columns. Okay. So you will be defining what are all the columns you need inside a table. Okay. And you will be inserting the rows inside that. Okay. So table is a consist of where your data gets stored actually in the databases, your data will get stored in a tables. Okay. So freshers, right? For freshers, I mean, for experienced people, would have been already knowing it, right? Okay. So for freshers, if anybody asks you saying that where exactly the data will get stored in a tables. Okay. So do you think that experienced people the data can be stored in anywhere else? Okay. So there is no place.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
For file storage or?
In databases, so when you go, you never query the files, right, directly. So the data stores in a tables. So don't go into cloud. Okay. Don't go into cloud right now. So we don't want to jump. Okay. So think that in a on-premise you are there and you have data got stored in your databases, where exactly the data gets stored.
And we can say attributes also, right, for columns.
Yeah, columns you can call attributes. You can call
some database will call
attributes. Okay. Yeah, there are a lot of synonyms to it, so we don't need to worry. So let's call a common term as columns. Okay, columns is something is a nice way. Okay. So yeah, table always contains a rows and a columns. Okay. So columns, a row is nothing but a value for the columns. Okay. What is a row? Is a value for the column is, if you go here, city ID is the column for me. 568 is the value, right? So 568 is the value for a city ID. Okay. This totally is a row. 568 row, right? 568 is for city ID. The row is belongs to Vijayawada and 44 and the date. Okay, so this is how the data gets stored. Okay, why I'm stressing the word the data gets stored in a table. Okay, don't get confused. Your views, the data will not store. Your store processes, the data will not store. Your functions, the data is not stored. Your sequences will, this data will not store. Okay, sequences are also tables on the back end. Okay, so only the data will get always stored in a tables. Okay, so very always you need to think that, okay, if I run a view, if the data stores inside a view. Okay, the data will not store inside a view, or data will not store it in a stored process. The data will not store in a functions. Okay, the data always stores into a tables. Okay, so you cannot update the views. Okay, so what I mean is, if there is a, now here it is a Vancouver is there, right? So Canada Vancouver is there. So now if I want to do any change of this data, I have to do this change come on top of a table. Okay, you have to do a change on a table. Always the data will stored in a table. So any updates, any deletes, any inserts, anything, you are putting a new record, removing the existing record. Okay, now I want to put a 568 is there, a 569 I have to put a record into this table. Okay, that comes and store in a table. If I want to remove this Vijayawada record, this will get removed from a table. Okay, or Vijayawada I will be updating from 44 to 49. So that updates happens in a tables. Okay, everything will happen under a tables. Okay, data stores inside a tables. Make sure the data stores in a tables. Okay.
Sorry, Krishna. Actually, we can update. There are updatable views also, right? We can directly update the views, right?
What you will update in a views?
The data.
You can, there is a view is not holding any data. What happens inside a views? You will be writing a tables again. Okay. If you run a view, that view will update the table, but view itself doesn't have any data.
So when you said that inside the views there are tables, so it's
Correct.
about the virtual tables inside the views, and the original table will not get updated. Only the virtual table will get updated, right?
So what actually inside a views there will be an actual tables. What is virtual tables means? Materialized view you are talking about.
The virtual table is the replica of the original table that is shown on the views based on the queries.
No. Based on the queries.
No, Krishna. Actually, why we are creating the view? Because for the security or for other reason, right? So, what is the reason for creating the view? Basically,
we understand the view is something. It's not a security. View is a logical.
It's
a logical query you want to define.
Yeah, it's a kind of suppose the table is having 100 columns. If you want to restrict, if you want to view only the only if you want to view the 10 columns, we can create a view, right?
One of the
on the top of the table.
It's one of the requirement, but that's not the whole intention of the view. It's one of the requirement. You can give access like that. Okay, that we will discuss anyway how we can use it. Okay, but the major requirement, what is about the views, is something that a logic written on multiple tables. Okay, multiple tables. You don't want to rewrite this whole logic and execute every time, so you will save that logic as a view. Okay, the main purpose of the view is this one. Okay, and also there is no virtual tables. Okay, so we will learn about these views. Views will be created on top of a tables. Those are actual tables. Okay, and inside a views you cannot never update the tables, or you cannot never delete the data from the tables. Okay, views are only for the reason of reading the data. Okay, so we will understand this when we go into a views concept. Okay, that's a wrong perception. A lot of people have it. So they think that if I update a view, the underlying table data will get changed. There is nothing. You cannot update a view. You always can able to update a tables only. Okay, there is a one more concept called as in a virtual views, regular views and a virtualized views. So virtualized view will create a virtual table in the backend, but that is nothing to do with our updates and this ones. Okay, how this works also we will decide. Okay, so to this point in time, for now we'll understand. When I go into views concept, I will tell the difference. Very important, this virtualization tool. Okay, virtualized view, difference between a regular view and a virtualized view. Up to fresher to 5 years to 6 years, this question will be asked. Okay, Can you tell me what is the differentiation between a virtualized view and a normal view, and which is better for me? Okay, which is better in what case it is performing? If I am right, if I try to run the query for many times in a day, okay, and what view you will suggest for me as an architect? Okay, I will tell the differences. Right now, we don't want to confuse, so we'll park that. Please go through step by step. Yes, Akshay. Yeah, I'm just holding. So don't worry, I'll explain this. Okay. So now, so for now, I'm saying the point is the data gets stored inside a tables. Okay. Any action, if you want to perform on a data, that you can able to do it only on a table level. Okay. So I will justify this answer. Just try to think about it. Experienced people, think about it. If you know already views, if you know stored processes, if you know functions, just think that why Krishna is mentioning this point, where exactly the data gets stored. Okay, so we will easily understand. Put your thought process on that one. I will make sure you will understand that concept. Okay, so now coming back to the SQL objects, right? So we have a tables, schemas. Okay, so here what we have, databases. Okay, schemas. Inside a schemas, we thought there is a tables, there are views, there are stored procedures, or etc. Many are there. Okay, so all the time the data will get stored in a tables. Tables is nothing but a rows plus columns. Okay, so every column will have a value and that defines as a row. That simple example we have seen here. Okay, there is a table called as in a city. Inside city, these are all the columns and these are all the rows. So these are all the rows. Okay, each row defines the value of the each columns. Okay, so keep that is in mind. If anybody asks you saying that what is the table? Okay, table is the place where the data gets stored. Table is a combination of rows plus columns. Okay, every column will have a value. Okay, so that value defines that the row. Okay, this is what you have to tell the people. What is a table when they ask you? Okay, so now how to create these tables? What are the constraints is something will come. Second point is SQL commands. Okay, there are 5 types of SQL commands are available in a SQL. Any SQL you take it. Okay, any SQLs you see MySQL or in a Snowflake, or you talk about Oracle SQL, you talk about a Redshift, you talk about anything everywhere, whatever the SQL you are going to use. There are 5 types of SQLs. Okay, one is DDL. Okay, one is DML, and another one is a DCL. Okay, one is a DQL, and one is a TCLs. Okay, any commands, anything you run on a SQLs or a databases or a data warehouses, that commands will fall under one of these categories. Okay, there are 5 types of SQL commands: DDLs, DMLs, DCLs, DQL, and TCL. Okay, DDL is nothing but a data definition language. Okay, data definition language. DML is nothing but a data manipulation language. Okay, and DCL is nothing but data control language. Okay, DQL is nothing but data query language. Okay, TCL is nothing but a transaction control language. Okay, very important question for the freshers, at least freshers to 3 years. Okay, can you tell me what are all the SQL commands you have used it? Okay, in that case, we need to explicitly say that I know there are five types of SQL commands are available. Those are DDLs, DMLs, DCL, DQL, and TCL. Okay, that's a simple question they can ask. But the complication question is, can you tell me what are all the commands comes under DCL? Okay, can you tell me that what are all the actions you can perform using a TCL? Okay, so they will ask you saying that what kind of DDL actions you have been performed. This kind of questions they will ask you when you go into, or else they, in an interview, what they do is, can you write a DDL commands? They will simply mention that. They won't go into the detail of a commands. They will ask you saying that, can you write a DDL commands for me? Okay, they will ask you like this. They don't go. There are 5-6 commands will be available. They don't say, can you write this command? Okay, or else they say that my requirement is I want to add a 1 column into that existing table. Okay, that column says that when that particular record got loaded into the data table. Okay, can you add the table? Can you add that column into the table using a DDL command? They say. Okay, they will be asking this kind of interview questions. Definitely it will be there. Okay, you take from 1 year experience to 6-7 years experience, they will be asking these questions. When your SQL code you will be writing, when you go for interview, they will ask this kind of questions. Okay, so keeping in mind, so there are 5 commands are available, SQL commands. So these are all the SQL commands we have it. Those are DDLs, DCL, DML, TCL, and DQL. Okay, remember the names. Okay, going back here, I'm saying data definition language. Okay, DDL. Okay, data is common everywhere. Data definition language, data manipulation language, control language, query language, and then it's also control. T is a transactional. Okay, just 4 points. So if you leave data and language, the middle word you see here, definition, manipulation, control, and query, should define that what queries you are going to write it. Okay, so we will stop with this point after discussing this 4. Okay, so now what is a definition? What is in your meaning of English word called as a definition? What is a definition means? An English word, a literal English word.
Which defines something.
Defines something. Okay.
It gives an elaborated explanation.
Elaborated. Okay. Defines. Elaborated. Okay. Any other words? What is your general meaning? So can you write a definition? I say that, can you write a definition? So you're talking something, you're saying that I have introduced this product. Okay, I'll ask you, say, can you define your product? What does that mean? Freshers, you will be writing, you will be creating a project in your 4th year. Okay, you will go for a Viva or something. Your Viva guy, your whoever evaluating your Viva, right? That guy will ask you, can you define your project? What you will say?
It's about creating and designing.
Designing. Okay, creating. Good. Describe. Okay, you're describing. Yeah, you will describe your project, right? You will describe your project. What you will be describing your project? You will be saying, see, my product is, it can able to automatically identify if there is a fire happening. Okay, so that's definition of my project. Okay, to do this definition of that particular project, what you'll do is, I have a fire alarm somewhere. I have introduced this product. This product should be in a 10 meters distance between this fire to this one. Okay, and this should have a battery all the time. This battery should need a power all the time, and that should be sensing this particular some sensor should be there. So you are defining now. Okay, you are defining your project, what exactly is happened. Now if you want to define something like that in a databases, okay, so you need a DDLs. What is this DDL says? That is, define the data how you want it. Okay, now I will define my table. So example, I will say, I'll define my table. In this table, the intention of this table is store. Okay, if there is store, what I can say, store Diwali sales. Okay, Diwali sales. This is my meaning of this table. Okay, in this one, what I'll say, Diwali is there for 3 days. Example, think that 3 days. Now I say clothing who bought. Okay, date. Okay, name, from location. Okay, something like this. I want to capture it. Okay, now this is, I'm designing my table. Okay, by defining that what and all I need it in this particular table. Okay, that's called, I am saying it should have a 3 days of data. In this 3 days of data, clothing information should be there. When he bought that particular order, who bought it, from which location he bought it. Okay, I designed this table. I didn't leave this as he's saying that, okay, you give some data to load it. What exactly there is no meaning to the table. Okay, if there is no meaning to the table, what is the purpose of creating it? Okay, so everything should be defined. Okay, how can you define that? How can you design your databases? How can you design your tables? Okay, so this, how can you do that kind of commands? The designing, creations, or you can say elaborating particular thing. So whatever you call, you are going to provide some definition to that particular table or a view or whatever it could be. Okay, that should need some definition to it. That means that needs some meaning to it. Okay, how you can able to define, how can you create those things is by using the DDL commands. Okay, either
Krishna, Can we
Yes.
say that data modeling can be done using data definition language?
So when you think that data modeling is only a creation of an objects, yes. Okay, that should be done via data definition language. Okay,
It's
when data,
about the constraints as well, primary
exactly,
key, foreign key,
everything
relationships
comes.
as well come under DDL, right? While creating the tables only okay, it's about creating the tables. We define the relationship between the tables.
Creating the views, altering the tables, dropping the tables. So there will be many things. So this all comes under your data definition language. Constraints is a data modeling. Okay, this comes under data modeling. So we will discuss that. Why is the data modeling is also, I'll tell you that. Okay. So,
And Krishna, one more thing. Do you provide this, whatever you are explaining in the class, this notepad as a separate file?
yes, we will be
Oh,
supplying. Okay, this will get
okay,
stored in
okay.
our website. Under that particular class, you will be seeing it. Okay.
Okay, okay, thank you.
So that's called as a data. So I will stop it here for now. Okay, we crossed 8 already. I have to walk through one more thing. Okay, so I'll stop it here. I'll take if there is any questions. Is there any questions? Okay, if no questions, right? We got few calls from people. Okay, they want to, sorry, let me see something. Hi Krishna, when will the Snowflake class starts? It will take another 30 days. Ravi, it might take another, 15 to 20 days. It will start. Okay. So few of the SQL concepts we will be learning as part of the Snowflake itself, so that I will be covering as part of the Snowflake. Okay, we will be skipping that in a MySQL, the same SQL concepts. Salman, you will be seeing once that is being uploaded into website. So once you paid it, okay, so you will be getting an access to our website. Under that, this all videos will be there and the notes also will be there. Okay, yeah. So let me quickly go through this one. Okay, so guys, we got few calls from few folks that how they have to access our website and how the paid session where they can able to see that all information. Okay, so once you log in into your website, okay, on top you can see there is an explore courses. Okay, you can go into this explore courses and you will be seeing that ongoing something new batch, new classes which is started in this month. Okay, so you can see that AWS Data Engineering, right? You can click on this one. Okay, it will take you to the page where you can able to pay. Okay, you can go here and buy now. Okay, so actually as part of the initial plan, so we have a 5 days of a free sessions. Okay, that's true. Yesterday, unfortunately, we had in a other tech hub, we couldn't able to accommodate that class. Okay, today we are completed with the 5th day, but we are extending one more day of a free class tomorrow morning. Okay, from Monday onwards, it is going to be a paid sessions. Okay, so before that, go here, enroll now, and you will get paid also from here. In case of any questions or any issues, if you see kind of atomicity or any consistency or a durability issues, if you see that, you can reach out to our admins. Okay, they will help you out with completing this task. Okay.
So Krishna, how many days is this course going to happen?
This is till March end. 4 months is something this plan. Okay, 4 months, 10 days or something. It's plan. Okay, it will be good. We could concentrate on the topic and take questions once completed. Concepts also could please provide the details.
So how to get registered for this? You can just
you can go to Google. Okay, so just type in a data vision. Okay, instead of this, let me go into data.
Because I missed 2 or 3 sessions.
Sir, what is that?
I missed 2 or 3 classes. So
okay, yeah. So how can you do is you can go here. So you will see this website, right? I'll be pinging this website. So there are some people who copied our URL. Okay, please don't get confused. Okay, there are some people has created same data vision with the DSR. Okay, it's only to have you paid it, so then we will be losing. So please be careful. Okay, so I pinged the link here. You should see that's a KSR data vision. Some people are copied with the DSR or something for a payment session. Okay, we have reported on that. Okay, so make sure you are into a right place. Okay, and then here you can register.
Just ping the link.
Yeah, I pinged the link. Did you able to see that? Oh, I pinged it only to Sumant. My bad. Sorry, one sec. Oh, one sec. Yeah.
And how about the Python, Krishna, when it will start?
Python will start after the Snowflake is completed. After Python, we'll go for a Snowpark.
Python, PySpark, right?
Sorry, what is that?
After Python, you'll go for PySpark.
After Python, we will be writing a PySpark in a Snowpark database, so Snowpark environment, using all the data frame styles. Okay. Yeah. Anybody have question on this? Okay.
During the class, you are teaching one topic as object. Talking about the object, you are telling about the table. So other folks are talking about the views directly. How can we understand? First of all, we need to understand the tables. After that, we go to the views.
Yeah, got it. I got that problem. Sorry, your name. Sorry, yeah, I got your problem, Ravi, whoever it is. Okay. Azhar, right? Yeah, Azhar. So I will cut down that. Yeah, folks also please understand, right? So we have a freshers also. I have to go in detail. Okay. So if you have a questions, I can't
We
straight
didn't
forward.
understand the tables directly. We are
Yeah, I understand
to
that.
views.
So, but we don't skip any topics, Azhar, I'm saying, right? So we are not going to skip anything. Okay. Just hang on for that 1 second or something. I know that it will be a little irritating. I have seen this in the previous batches also, because the reason is they have a mixed people. I cannot straight reluctant of rejecting the people's question over there. I'll try to quickly accommodate that, but I'll switch back to the topic. Okay. So don't worry, we are not going to skip. If they are talking about a views, I would say that try to listen. If you want to skip it, but note down that why they are asking a views. Probably that would be a very important. Tomorrow you should ask Krishna, you didn't teach me views. Okay. So you note down that, but I will skip mostly. Okay. Don't worry. Don't get confused in that. Okay. I'll try to put it as layman as possible.
Okay.
When you're talking and question comes.
Soumya, you're trying to talk, but your voice is breaking. There is some disturbance. Can you keep your mouthpiece at your, very near and then talk? It's actually shaking.
Now?
Sorry, Soumya, still there is a disturbance. Can you unmute yourself now? Can you try to talk? Now you're full lost. Okay, so Soumya, don't worry. Okay, if you have something personal to check, I have seen your message saying that you need a link, right? I'll pass that link. So, okay, in this page, you can see there is a phone numbers as given, right? Okay, you can contact to any of these phone numbers for any issues, and Soumya, you can also reach out to these numbers if you want to personally talk. Okay, they will connect to me. Okay, link also, I will forward a link. Don't worry, I'll forward a link and you can practice over there. Okay, tomorrow I'll ping you directly here in the group so you can copy it. Okay, so anybody have any questions?
But Krishna, how to get registered? Can I repeat that?
Sorry, how can?
Because I have registered for the free classes and I can't see the.
Okay, for the paid sessions you're saying, right? So once you log in into this page, right? So you log in into this place. On top, you see there is an explore courses. Okay, click that and you will enter into this particular page. In that, under paid sessions, you will be seeing AWS Data Engineering skills. Okay, click that. It will take you to this page. In this page, you can click Enroll now.
Can you repeat it? Sorry.
So go to under paid sessions.
Okay.
Okay, you see there is a AWS Data Engineering one. Okay, click this. Okay, you will be seeing buy now here. You can use this buy now and you can able to get into the page. Okay, if you see any problem over there, contact the numbers which given over here.
Or can I do phone pay or something? Is there any other way?
So we track all the payments. So whoever it is. Okay, so what you do is try to do with the website. Okay, from here, if you still have a problem, connect with our team. They will help you out. Okay, in worst scenario, if all is not working out, then we will manually turn it as you paid and you can do via phone pay or something. That needs some manual interruption. Okay, better try to do it from a website, or if not, contact these guys. They will help you out. Okay.
Yeah.
Mostly it should work. It's working. A lot of people paid, right? So it's working fine. Okay. Any other questions, guys? Okay. If no questions, again, I'm highlighting, right? Paid tomorrow is going to be the last free session we are going to have. Okay. From Monday onwards, it's going to be a paid sessions. Okay. Once you get a paid sessions, whatever the demo we are having right now and the notes we are going to have, that all will be uploaded into that website and you could able to see it. And next continuing classes also, you'll see including the notes. Okay, perfect then. Then we can drop off for today. Have the rest of the day good and we'll catch up tomorrow morning.